Good morning, warriors. This is Saturday. I think this is April 2nd, 2002. Decided to kind of do an extra one on this, only because I've had a few people talking about this and asking me about this. And so I'm going to kind of talk about this situation of male energy and female energy, as we've seen depicted on television and different places like that. And so we'll kind of talk about that in this episode. Beep, beep. Okay. So, once again, thank you for all the subscriptions, comments, donations. Please go ahead and continue doing that. Likes and donations, all that kind of stuff. It's greatly appreciated. But I really appreciate more the viewing and all your comments and all those type of things, so we can kind of talk more about ideas and things that are very prevalent nowadays. All right, so the idea then is that we're talking about male and female and feminine energy. And when you see people doing this kind of stuff, you kind of look at yourself and say, okay, where is the masculine energy? What has happened to our world? And you can tell what's happened in our world. It's been dumbed down over the years, whether it's imagery or pornography or something that, people talk about reducing, reducing energy, foods that are just too high processed foods. And all of a sudden you have people who don't have that masculine frame and masculine energy. And we talk about this a lot with certain people that have done over years and looking at that. But the key is going to be, and you're looking at, is that how do you know if you have masculine energy? Well, you look at your level of testosterone and you look at how males are, and you can see how people happening. When you look at events like happened about a week ago on our movie show, one of those shows I think it was, and I won't mention the names, but you know who I'm talking about, the people who will, one person going up and slapping the other person in the face, because they said something. The idea, guys, is that you're talking about masculine energy. And when you sit there and you look at energy from this person, you can just tell that person does not have masculine energy. You can just tell about it based on the idea of how the person's looking and how they're smacking somebody. It's either coordinated or fake, or it just is very weak. I mean, when you are upset about something and you're up there looking at saying to this person, no, don't you say this stuff, then you're going to go ahead and hit the person in a different way. Now, I'm not advocating hit anybody. In fact, he probably just shouldn't have done anything at all. But the bottom line is if he did, then what kind of slap is that? What is that? That's not what we're talking about when we're talking about masculine energy, right? If you're going to defend yourself and you're going to defend someone's honor, you're not talking about slapping somebody in the face like that, barely even hurt the person, right? And in fact, the person's looks like they're putting their face out ready to get slapped, which indicates to me that it may be more staged than anything else. But the idea, guys, is that you're not going to sit there and be masculine that way. You have an aura with you. And certainly when you look at that person, and maybe they had an aura at one point, and maybe something's happened, I don't know. But that person certainly does not have any kind of aura that we're talking about, especially as a male. Now, when you look at males and you look at auras and you look at masculine energy, that person's energy should be shooting out like a star. No matter how old they are. I'm almost 61, and I should be having that masculine energy out there no matter what. Energy doesn't get old, right? I mean, all that happens is that you change as time goes on, and now you're looking different, but you're not really getting old. Yeah, you're getting old in our perceptions of what young and old are, yes. Let's just think about that age-wise, right? If you're between 25 and 30, right, you may be considered by old if you're 15 or 20. It's all a perception. It's just a matter that you progress longer in your process, whatever that process of life is, your energy process. But you're not really being destroyed. You're just being you're transferring into something else, which is what energy does. So the bottom line when you look at this is you should not be losing energy. And that's really where the key is. Now, we lose energy, as we said before, in a lot of different ways. Whether it's stress, emotional types of things, whether it's losing testosterone, losing energy this way. Those are things that we're doing all the time. But you should not be sitting out there exhibiting feminine energy when you're a masculine male. This just doesn't happen. Unless, of course, you are doing all the opposite things that you should be doing. And this is the kind of where you can see where people lie. When you look at behaviors and you look at them, you're seeing the opposite of what you're seeing on your journey, you realize and you recognize it. Now, what's the purpose and what's the payoff of recognizing it? Well, certainly you know it. And you know the difference between the two. Now, does it make a difference? Well, maybe not. It makes a difference in you knowing and avoiding those behaviors, yes, and learning from those behaviors. But it also reinforces you that you do not want to be this type of person. We have too many weak males who do not exhibit masculine energy out there. It's growing and growing. And a lot of times, unfortunately, these males don't understand it. They've been brought up in situations of brainwashed, saying, oh, okay, I don't need this. I don't need to act masculine. This is all like this egotistical stuff, macho type things is bad. We're not talking about abusing people here, my friends. We're talking about a certain energy a person needs to have to be a man. That's the bottom line. And if you're a woman, you need to keep your energy because you're also a woman. You're going to be a woman. And those are two different things. Biologically, they're two different things. Biblically, they're two different things. And we need to recognize that. And those of you who view this obviously know that. But the thing is, we got to recognize also that we don't want to, we don't want to reinforce these negative types of things. Now, what should this person have done? Well, first of all, this person's making, kind of rude jokes. And this is the first issue you have. Now, should the person making rude jokes? No, I would not recommend that either. Let's just focus on this person who's receiving the jokes, all right, in the audience. What should that person do? Well, the bottom line is that you don't really want to kind of bring attention to the joke to the point where now you look like the bad guy going up and starting a fight. Secondly, right, if you're going to defend someone's honor, which is what I think the intent was here, you don't do it with just a freaking slap in the face. You just don't do that, which indicates to me that there's something suspicious about that whole situation. And if you're a real man, you would be trying to basically kind of tell this person, stop doing this. And acting in a slapping way and this kind of stuff just doesn't do it. It just doesn't do it. It just smells of something that a feminine person would do. And it surprises me because this individual I'm talking about is someone who's been in movies and you would think is a masculine male, but obviously as you're looking at his energy now, it's obviously not the case. And I would have to say I'm a little bit tainted too, because for many years I didn't have this kind of energy I should be having now too. It's because I didn't recognize how important it is. So I'm not throwing out any kind of blame on things, but what I'm saying to you is people need to act differently and need to act like men. Not losing their anger and control over certain things, but then taking care of business when you gotta take care of it, not in a public type of setting. Take care of business with that person. Those people should have been talking after the show or whenever there was a break and need to be settling this type of stuff. And I just think that you get this point, this kind of attitude, you get someone who really is not showing masculine types of qualities whatsoever. And it's very disappointing and just kind of sickens me in some ways to kind of see this kind of stuff now to realize this is not the way it should be, you know. And so as you look at this, it's important to look at people. There's a lot of people look up to these people, and they look up to them as role models. And what I'm saying to you is that's not a good role model. That's not a good role model of how to use your energy. Use your energy to create things. Use your energy to succeed and accomplish goals and help humanity, help the world. But don't use your goals to try to hurt other people or to try to show how tough you are. When in fact, people know how tough you are. They can sense it. And you need to kind of look at that. So it's always good to kind of see these examples. And I'm not going to mention names once again because I don't want to embarrass people and do that sort of thing. That's just not my way. But I think we have to learn from these examples of how to act like a man and to be someone who's out there and be masculine and not be feminine in your energy. And I think that's the key to it. So, all right, my friends, just wanted to kind of talk about this a little bit because it's something that I've been talking to people about, and I wanted to kind of bring it to our attention and kind of realize that the reason why we're trying to save our energy on our journey is because we want to be men again. It is time to be men again, and not to look at life as being, some other way, and to kind of do things in a different way. Men were created men for reasons: protection, security, gathering, making, in this case, making money, security, building homes, doing this kind of stuff. And this is the way men are meant to be. And if you look at the Bible, it talks about that all the time. And there's a reason why a man should not be, except unless they're going to have children, they should not be, losing their energy every minute of the day. So, all right, my friends, have a good weekend. Maybe we'll do another one before the weekend ends. Until then, God bless you guys, and battle on!